Everyone, thank you for coming back to my channel. And if you are new here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on your post notification bell so that you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. Okay, hey guys, hey. So Mondays will be Motivational Monday and it will be inspired by me. I have loads of notebooks of things that I would journal and things that I just, I took notes on. So Mondays will be about me and how I got on my journey, how I did the journey, my process, and in the healing journey. Now, I did post 2 videos previously about my healing journey. It's about like 3-4 years ago. And I stopped talking about it because it had got to a point to where I could not handle it. So I wasn't able to continue to post things. And I do believe like the last thing some people may have saw was when I was sitting in a car and I had a whole panic attack. Yes, so I had a whole panic attack. I was sitting in the car. I was trying to do something new, go out with my siblings, and I wasn't able to. So they went to dinner and I was sitting in the car having a whole panic attack and I didn't know what to do. I was about an hour away from home. And so I went live just to see like, okay, give them your journey. Like I'm supposed to be journaling this, but then how do people journal? Okay, let's get comfortable. How do people journal when you're going through things like that? Like I was going through something hardcore and I picked up my phone and I'm like basically I was just looking at my phone, like basically FaceTiming somebody, but I was on live on YouTube and I still have that video till this day. And I'm just sitting there boo-hooing and I'm like, I don't know, like how y'all just be out here just posting every step of the way, because I was not able to post it. I was supposed to, but I did not post it. I have notes of every step of the way. So that is what I am going to do every Monday. I am going to come on here. Let me see if this thing is, Sasha, girl, let me see if my mic's still on, because I'm not about to do that. But anywho, so yeah, Mondays will be Motivational Monday. I will read a page or whatever in my notebook, and it will all tie back into the I Am collection, which is affirmations to affirm who you are. It will help to affirm who you are. I also have affirmation pillows that these are the mini pillows, and just to have something to look at and to have something to hold, like on the days that I was not able to bear the pain that I was going through. I did have pillows. I have all types of affirmations all around my room, all around the house actually. I have affirmations all around the house, Bible verses all around the house, because I needed to see those things. And like my pillows, I will have them like close by, just so like during the time that during the time that I was going through, this was one of my favorite pillows, and I would just have it. I am strong, and I would just tell myself, I'm strong, I'm strong, I am strong, I am strong, I am strong. And I have this here, and the more you say stuff, it will make you feel like, okay, that's the truth. I am strong. And I started to feel that way, not only because I was saying that, it's because I knew that in my mind, I am strong, and I was not going to stay in that place. So with that being said, this was wrote November 28th, 2020. And this, I always title, I don't know why. Well, it could be because a book might come out of, this or whatever. But yeah, so I titled this one as God is the I Am. And so, yeah, I'll give you a little story about that. So when I was going through, God did tell me, God didn't tell me, he was, showing me like, as I was doing affirmations all over my house, and he had brought it to my attention, like, I am the I am. Anything that I am, you are. And I'm like, you know what? As much as I may have heard that, it never clicked to me until I actually needed to hear that. And, like I needed to hear that during that time frame. And at the time frame, I was in a divorce, what's it called? A divorce group. I don't know what it's called. And I would go to the little divorce classes or whatever. And, there were people there that were divorced for 18 years. They were 18 years divorced. And I'm just looking around and I'm like, oh my God, And so God had gave me that revelation, and I had took that back to that Monday. I took it back to the divorce class, and I told them, and I'm like, yo, yeah, I didn't say yo. We was at the church house, so I wasn't talking like yo, but I'm talking like yo with y'all because it's y'all, okay? But whatever. And so I'm like, yo. So God gave me this, and on that day, I'm telling all these people, you know, because I haven't gone through the roughest part of my trial and whatever. I haven't gone through the roughest part yet. So, but I'm coming to them, telling them like, hey, this is what God gave me. He said, I am the I am, and anything that I am, you are. And I'm like, yo. So I'm telling them that, and I ended up teaching the class that day. Like, how did that happen? And I was so excited because I was able to help one lady. She was struggling, and she was divorced for 18 years, and she was still struggling. Oh, okay, then stop. Okay, I need to put the battery charger on. But yeah, so she was still struggling, and after I told her that, she was like, oh my God, that's a breakthrough. So whenever you're going through something, it's not just for you. It is not just for you. It is for somebody else as well. So you have to get the story out there so that you can help somebody else. Because if I would have known what I learned during my trial, if I would have known what I learned before I went through it, then I probably would have been able to maneuver things a lot differently. But because I didn't know, like nobody was really talking about it, they were always so secretive about what they were going through. It was just like, wow to me. Like I had to learn from my own mistakes. I had to learn from, you know, okay, as you go through, you're gonna learn. And that's exactly what I did. I did get the experience. I did get a lot of life lessons during this time frame. So give me a second. I gotta charge this phone up before it dies on us. Okay, I'm back. I don't want to make this too long, but I just want to get this part out and whatever. But yeah, so the lady that went through the divorce, she was divorced for 18 years, and she couldn't get over it because they were together for so long. I think they were together for like 23 years, and then they ended up being divorced for 18 years. And it's like, yeah, he moved on. You know, it's typical stories, but then it's also, when you talk about your journey, it gets it off your chest. And that's most of the time, that's what people need, is somebody to listen to them. Let me get this off my chest. And then some people also need somebody that's going to be bold. First of all, we're going to put in a little commercial here. So this is a bold sweatshirt. It is Breaking Ordinary Limits Daily, and this is a design by Aisha Mallory Design. I'll put her link in the description below as well. But yeah, this is a Breaking Ordinary Limits Daily t-shirt, sweatshirt, and I love this. I love this because of the simple fact, I have been breaking ordinary limits daily, and this resonated with me, and it resonated with the I am. So yeah, so I'm not saying all this to sell anything to anybody, but it is something to have, like, just to know, like, when I wear this sweatshirt, or when I wear my shirt, or, you know, when I'm wearing my shirt, my sweatshirt, I have sweatshirts as well. When I'm wearing them out and about, I feel what it is. I feel like I am. And this shirt has a lot of different affirmations inside of it. It says, I am blessed, happy, free, enough, bold, love, brave, beautiful, creative. It has handsome on there. So this could be for a man or a woman. So I'm not trying to sell y'all anything, but at the end of the day, I am trying to let y'all know to grab something, to have something with you that has an affirmation or that has something that will help you to keep moving on your hardest days. So with that being said, I don't think I have to give y'all a story about why. But anywho's, yeah, so back onto the topic. So the lady, yeah, so she got a breakthrough and everything like that. And, you know, now I seen her one day, and she has a boyfriend. And so, like, I'm super happy for her. Like, that just made me so happy, because I want people to heal. I do. My biggest thing is I want people to heal. And heal means to help everyone accept love. And that is something I really want for everyone to do. I learned that I know how to love people, and I just had to learn how to not give my love to people so much that I forget to give myself love. So yeah, that's another thing. So let's read this. Okay. So November 28, 2020, God is the I am. So in this stage of my divorce, God told me, this is the story. Okay, I just read it. I'm gonna just read it. Okay, just did it again. We'll put it on there. Okay, we still here. But anyway, okay, God told me this wasn't for me only, but for people that are going through it as well. I didn't think I was going to be able to. I didn't think it was going to be this hard because me and homeboy had gone through some things already, so I was like, okay, this was going to be a walk in the park and, everything. And homeboy, if you go back, I think I said, who homeboy is my ex and whatever. But God gave me a big taste of the experience that I was going to go through. Like what he gave me a big taste of it, of what I was going to go through. And yeah. Okay, so let me get back where I was. Get a big taste of it. Okay. So for 4 months, I went through hell. I went through hell for 4 months. I thought that I was going to die or I was going to take my own life. And the devil is a liar. Yes, he is, because I'm still here. And like during that time frame, and this also can tie into admit your feelings. That's a part of the healing process. Admit your feelings is the second rule. Admit your feelings. I thought that I was gonna die. I had to tell people, I had to tell somebody like, yo, I've never had these thoughts before. How, is people really having these thoughts? Like, I've never experienced this before. So yeah, so the devil was a liar, and he still is. Like, at the end of the day, he's still a liar. So I believe strongly in God being a healer, but I've never experienced him to be a healer for a pain like this. And because I suppressed my feelings so well, I wasn't able to feel. That's the weirdest thing. I wasn't able to feel the emotions that I were having. And that is crazy because I never knew that I suppressed my feelings so well. And if you know me, you know that I tell stories in the weirdest way, just so people will get a better understanding of the story. So in my mind, like for the longest time, even before I got married, I had this little man in my head. If you think about the little cartoon characters, little cartoon characters. Okay, so it's a man in my head, and he is sitting on a crate, and he never got up. The walls in the room was white, and it was just a room, 4 walls and white. You couldn't see a door, but I could see the man in my head. And so this is how I described what was going on with the suppressing thing or whatever. And so I was like, I don't want to tell nobody about this because then they're really going to think I'm crazy, but this is the only way that I can describe what's going on. And so when I started going to therapy, I was like, I don't want to tell you. And she was like, girl, just tell me. And I'm like, are you going to try to lock me up or whatever? She's like, no, I'm not a lockup type of therapist. I'm, a work through type of therapist. So I was very happy about that. And she said, no, that's not uncommon for you to feel like that or to see it that way. Even, she's like, girl, because you be explaining things so funny. It's like, but that's just how I explain things. So the guy in my head or whatever, he's been in my head for a long time. And I'm like, yo, everybody be always wondering, because if I'm just sitting there looking like this, people always want to know, what you thinking about? And I'm just like, nothing. I'm not thinking about nothing. Whole time, I could see this man in my head. And I'm like, I'm not thinking about anything, but I'm looking at this man. I may be reading the person that's in front of me, but then at the same time, it's mainly the man in my head. And so when I started to unravel all of this and started to realize that this person was really taking a toll over my life, so I started to unravel it, and then the man had stood up, and I could see a door, and I could see him opening the door. And as he stood up, there was papers flying everywhere. There was a few papers flying everywhere. It wasn't a lot. And so then I guess that I reverted back, and I started to, go back into that comfort zone of hiding those feelings, because I'm like, these feelings are not the feelings that I want to feel. Let me make sure this mic's still on. Okay, it's still on. So these wasn't the feelings that I wanted to feel. So I'm like, okay, let me go and take my feelings back, put them back in my backpack, and I'm going to hold on to them as long as I can, because I don't want to experience what this man is about to do. So the man in my head. And so then I, the more that I started to heal and, go on a little healing journey and, love on myself and tell myself all the affirmations and everything, I that man got up off that box and he freaking walked out the door. He walked out the door. And as he walked out the door, all I seen was all these papers flying around. And all I could think about how to explain that is the movie Bruce Almighty, when he had all those prayers and they started flying everywhere. That's exactly what happened in my head. It happened in my head and I was like, yo, all these papers. So I was going through a really tough time because everything from childhood on up to my divorce have come out the box of suppression. And this is why it's important for you not to suppress your feelings, because when they come out, you never know what's going to happen. You don't know how you're going to handle that because it's all these feelings on top of feelings on top of feelings, and you wasn't even feeling the emotions of those feelings because they were so suppressed. So that's that. When you're going through something, talk about it, let it out, because if you don't, then you're going to suppress it and you're making the situation worse. Do not suppress your feelings. If it hurts somebody else's feelings, don't say it in a negative way. If you're not trying to hurt nobody's feelings, don't say it in a negative way. But you have to get these things out. Okay? So then the surprise. Okay. So it was like emotional vomit. I started to have bad panic attacks. My mind started to race about what ifs, and the what ifs was like basically like suicidal thoughts and everything. I was having all those what ifs and whatnots, and just weird. So you have to really, really express yourself, because it's not only for you, and somebody else can be like, hey, I went through the same thing, or you're not in this alone, or whatnot. And the what ifs hurt. What if I hurt myself? What if I hurt my son? Because I've never dealt with my feelings and I know what to do. I really didn't have anyone to talk to because people were used to me being the strong one, and I never showed myself as weak. And that's one thing. Okay, so that's the end of that little page or whatever. But like, I never showed myself as weak, and most people thought because I am a God-fearing woman, or I was a God-fearing, I don't know what they thought, but they thought that I was just too strong to actually go through anything, and I was actually going through something. So I had made a post on Facebook, like the thoughts, like I had to actually express myself because I was sitting on the floor, rocking myself, trying to go to sleep, boo-hoo crying, and I couldn't get out of it. Couldn't get out the thoughts. I couldn't understand why I couldn't go to sleep. And I'm just like, yo, I don't take medications because I'm scared that it's gonna mess me up even more. So then I'm just like, yo, make a post it on Facebook. And that post helped me a lot. That's how I found my therapist. Somebody posted, my sister's best friend actually posted in the post and said, hey, I messaged her and I told her that you need help. She wasn't accepting anybody. So this was a God thing. She wasn't accepting new patients. She wasn't accepting, I think it was patients with my insurance. And so she ended up messaging her and telling her I was needing help. And she said, tell her to fill out the application. And we were on the ball. That next week we started therapy, and I have not been the same since. So yes, like, it has been a journey for me. So we did the commit to healing, which was the work that I did to be able to sit here without crying. Like, I'm sitting here without crying. And then today we are talking about admit your feelings. And that's a little bit of what I just admitted on that paper. Just a little bit, because there's a lot of admit your feelings. So we might be on this for a long time. But at the end of the day, I'm saying all this to say, if you are going through something and you feel like you're alone, you're not. And I'm not just saying that because, just to be saying that, you're not alone. There are people out here that are going through the same thing that you are going through. And if you have the strength to tell your story, tell your story. Tell it. Because you may save somebody from the what ifs, the thoughts in your mind. The thoughts in my mind, nobody can save me but me, because because I'm that type of weird. I'm that type of weird. If I'm crying, I'm gonna go and look in the mirror like, are you looking ugly? That's the type of weird I am. But also I'm the type of person like, like when I was having those what if you run your car into this lake? What if you run your car into this lake? Because if you run your car into this lake, sweetie, the freaking fish are going to be able to touch you. I don't want to be touched by the fish. So I'm not going to run my car into the lake. So that's the thing. So yeah, but no, seriously, y'all, please tell your story. Tell your story. Don't tell your story to be viral or whatever. Tell your story so it'll get to the right person, so it can help the person that's in need of help, as well as helping you. Like me helping other people during the time that I'm actually going through the roughest part of my life. I was actually out there helping people because I do want people to heal. We have to heal. We have to learn to love each other. We have to learn to accept the love and also learn how to give it. We can't just be the takers of, everybody's love, and then they don't have anything to give the next person. And so we don't want that. So I said all that to say is tell your story. Tell your story and